Praised be Jesus and Mary. The Holy Family, which we celebrate today, has always been held up as the perfect model to follow when raising a family. Therefore, we don't have to worry about keeping up with the Joneses. Families need to worry more about following the examples of Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Children should think of their parents as God's representatives. In the words of Shakespeare, he said, "The voice of parents is the voice of God's, for to their children they are heaven's lieutenants." Or, at least they should be. Let's face it, after God, in the list of the 10 Commandments, parents come first. So, if parents take God's place and children have the duty to obey their parents as God's representatives, then children have a right to expect to see God in their parents' examples, in their parents' conduct, their speech, attitudes, and in the principles that they use to guide their family. If parents want good, loving children, they must give them a good example. After all, what parents are shouts louder than any words that they could ever say. Some parents will argue, but we're only human. Don't expect us to be perfect. Well, it's true that we're only human. But it's also true that God forgives human failings. That's why he instituted the sacrament of confession. Certainly, children must also forgive and overlook the faults of their parents. But there's never any justification, for parents to excuse their own misconduct and be negligent of trying to improve, by just admonishing their children. Do as I say, or do as, not as I do. That's not a Christian principle. Children, by nature, are imitators, and they readily adopt, as their own, both good and bad qualities of those who are closest and dearest to them, like father, like son. Much of the advice and direction of parents is ignored when their own lives do not exemplify the lessons that they're trying to teach. It's not going to do much good cussing your child out for using foul language. Would that all parents accepted the tremendous challenge of their vocation, namely living in such a way that they can say to their children, "Follow us, and we will lead you to heaven." There's a saying, that one cannot give what one does not have. This can definitely be applied to parents, barring a miracle of God's grace. They cannot impart to their children spiritual and moral qualities that they themselves do not possess. If parents lack personal integrity, a deep faith, and a real love of God and of neighbor. They cannot hope to rear children blessed with these qualities and virtues. Francis Bacon has expressed the same idea in these words. Parents who wish to bring up their children in a way they should go must go in the way in which they would have their children go. Also, another author has very clearly spelled out the difficult but most essential obligation of parents. He exhorts them, don't just stand there, pointing your finger to the heights you want your children to scale. He says, start climbing, and they will follow. It's evident that to be good parents is not an easy job. And without God, it's impossible. But with His help, His grace and strength, and the parents' goodwill and effort, success can be had. One day, parents should be able to present to their divine judge their immortal masterpieces, the children they produced and are responsible for. May God accept them and richly reward both them and the children they raised. And, may heaven be the eternal home where all families will reunite and spend eternity, with the Holy Family. God bless you, and Mary keep you.